Wake up. Kwam Yasharala. My Judas senses are tingling. It's going off the radar with this Black Panther movie. Do you really understand what this movie is talking about? Come with me. I'm going to tell you. Now, I want you to get your scrolls, get your records, because we're going to take a trip through the Bible. As I talked about in my previous part 1, the Black Panther is scriptural. He was taken from the Bible. The garments of Adam were with Esau last. And what I'm going to show you in this documentary is that in the film that it was actually proven. My first part 1 was proven because we have T'Challa, who is in representation of Jacob, and then we have Killmonger, the Prince Najibu's son, who is in representation of Esau. And they're fighting over the garments. They're fighting over the birthright, the throne. You know, they're trying to kill each other. And I just want to show you that in this documentary. It's going to even prove my part 1 even more. First, I wanted to look into Wakanda. And I just wanted to compare that to the blessings that we were supposed to get in Deuteronomy 28. And if you just look at the first 15 verses, you'll see that Wakanda got the blessings. And then, of course, is Esau got the curse. In this movie, we see that the cousin got the curse. Their descendants were cursed. Because as we have even now, as we are cursed as Judah and Jacob, Esau is blessed. So it's a reciprocal operation. So Deuteronomy 28 basically says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Ahiah, then observe all his commandments which I have commanded thee this day, that all these blessings shall come upon thee, and I will set thee high above all nations. And verse 2 said, all these blessings shall overcome thee and overtake thee. And then it says, blessed shalt thou be in the city and in the field. It said, the Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. And that 7 ways just means the 7 continents of the earth. That's what I would take that as. And then also it says in number 9, verse 9, the Lord shall establish thee a holy people unto himself. And as we see in Wakanda, they are a holy people unto the Black Panther gods. And we're a holy people unto the Most High God, as a nation Israel is. As he have sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep his commandments and walk in thy ways. And the Lord shall open unto thee a treasure of heaven, and the Lord shall make thee treasure in goods, in the fruit of thy body, in the fruit of thy cattle, in the fruit of thy ground. And the Lord shall open unto thee the good treasure, heaven, and give to you rain in the season. And as you can see, we were chosen. We had a great nation. We were supposed to get all of these things. We were supposed to be on top. And as you can see, Wakanda is on top. Wakanda is lending vibranium. They're not borrowing anything. You know what I'm saying? So that is what is occurring. Without a doubt, they have got the blessings. And so I want to look into Genesis 21:9 next, because I want to show you the comparison between Ishmael and Isaac and how that is comparable to T'Chaka and Prince Najibu. Genesis 21:9. And as we know, Prince Najibu is the father of Killmonger, the one who Black Panther was fighting. So in Genesis 21:9, it says, and Sarah said unto the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, but for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. and that thing was very grievous unto Abraham because of his son. And God said unto Abraham, let not it be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, because of the bondwoman. And Sarah have said unto thee, hearken unto her voice. For in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Now, what did we see occur in this film? We saw the son, Black Panther, T'Challa. He went in the spirit realm to see his father, T'Chaka, and he beseeched his father, T'Chaka, and he said, why did you leave this child? Why did you leave him? You know, and he said, what does T'Chaka say? T'Chaka said, I chose my people. I chose Wakanda. And what did the Most High say to his son, Abraham? He said, I chose Isaac. You need to choose Isaac. That is your people. That's where your seed shall be known. And just as the wife knew, just as Sarah knew, that's just how T'Chaka's wife knew. T'Chaka's wife, she said when the cousin came, when the prince came, she said, who is this heathen? He does not have a right to be here. I want my son to be heir. She knew, and that's just what occurred in scripture. So we see that T'Chaka from the film is just a same representation. You can say Abraham, and then you can say his brother pension G. His brother is a representation of Ishmael. Yes, Ishmael. And then as we go into Genesis 25, we see the representation of Jacob and Esau. And so in this scripture, I'm going to read 25 verse 27 of Genesis. It says, and the boys grew. Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And so as we see that in the film Killmonger, or the Prince, he was a cunning hunter. We talked about how he knew all of the different fighting styles, and he was in different countries killing people. T'Challa was a plain man. He didn't go to war unless he had to on business of the country. You know?
Entire life.
And he wasn't like he wasn't out just bounty hunting people. That's what Esau was doing. So you see that right off bat. And then also in
I took life. My own brothers and sisters on this continent.
25, you see that there's a battle for the birthright.
Just so I could use.
Jacob receives the birthright because we see verse 33 or 34, it says, and then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. And thus Esau despised his birthright. In verse 33, and it says, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. And so he gave his birthright unto Jacob. You know, and so that's what a lot of the arguments arose from. And so let's go into chapter 27, and we're going to see what Esau actually thought of his brother. Because we see in the film that Prince, the Killmonger, he does not like his cousin at all. And this is Genesis 27 and 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of the mourning for my father are at hand, and I will slay my brother. And we saw that Killmonger only wanted to kill his brother, T'Challa. They were brothers, you know, in a sense. Because also we see, like, you know, with the birthright, they were both fighting for the birthright. They both wanted the throne with T'Challa and the prince. And so that's exactly who they are. Jacob and Esau, as my first video has shown. Yes, and then so also in the film we see the prince, Killmonger. We see that he says, if we're all from Africa and we all come from the same people, ain't all people our people? Why we got our brothers incarcerated? Why we got them highly policed, and we can help them? Now, like I said, in the film, we have Esau and Jacob. The brothers' people is Esau, and the Black Panther, T'Challa's people, is Wakanda. And so they are taking care of their people. Esau is not their people. They're the one who received the curse. Wakanda got the blessing. So now we're going to go into scripture and we're going to show what the Most High says about his people. And should we, if we, since we have all these blessings, just like Wakanda had in the film, should we help other nations? We're gonna read about that because the Panther way in the movie was to help yourself, just like the Most High's way. We're gonna see in these scriptures, help yourself, because we blessed you, and the other nations served other gods. So Amos 3:1, let's get right into it. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken unto ye, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought out of the land of Egypt, saying, you only. What does only mean? Exclusively. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. He only knew us. Let's read that again. You only I have known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all of your iniquities. Now, that is very important for you to understand, that he only knew us. We're the only ones who are going to get punished for what we do, because he only knew us. We are his children. We are his people. So we're held to a higher responsibility. And so that just ties right into the film. He's saying, all people are our people. No, so now go to verse Psalms 147:19. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and judgments unto Israel. T'Challa, he had the power. Jacob, that's who we're saying is Jacob. And then it says, he have not dealt so with any other nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. So the Most High is not dealing with any other nation at all. He's exclusively dealing with us. So he's not, he doesn't want us to, we don't have to reach out to anyone, So ain't all people our people? No. All people are not Israel. All people are not Yasharallah. We see in these scriptures that all people are not. And now we're going to go also into Deuteronomy 32:8, and it says, when the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Now, do you see that? All people, are all people our people? That is not true. All people is not our people. Jacob, like we see in the film, Wakanda got the blessing. And so let's just insinuate that Jacob got the blessing. So Jacob gets the blessing. Esau comes along and says, ain't all people our people? No, all people is not our people. It said when the Most High divided the nations and separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. All people are not our people. Wake up. And now we're going to talk about how they were constantly bringing up ancestors from the dead in this movie. Now, that is a cursed act, and they talked about it. That occurred once in scripture when a king did that. His name was King Saul. He was a wicked man. And so I'm going to go to the scripture in Samuel concerning that. So let's see what occurred. Let's go ahead and look. Go get your scrolls out. And this is 1 Samuel chapter 28. Please go there with me. Now, as you're there, we're going to look at verse 8. And Saul disguised himself and put on a raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him, and they came unto a woman by night, and he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring him up, and whom I shall name unto thee. So he's asking her, bring up this person I'm going to tell you. So basically, this lady, in the next chapter, she says, Saul told us not to do that. She says, I'm not going to tell Saul. Let's skip down to verse 12. It says, "And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul." Because he was lying, he was acting like he wasn't Saul. And the king said unto her, "Be not afraid, for what sawest thou?" And the woman said, "I saw gods ascending from the earth." And so basically she sees, just like in the movie, the people, you know, how they covered T'Challa and Prince Najibu in the dust to go to the ancestors. That's what actually happened in scripture. And then it said, then said Samuel, Wherefore then doest thou ask me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee and is become thine enemy? So he's very unhappy that he did this. And you know, that just shows us, you know, because he came up and he was very angry. It shows us that this is not a righteous thing to do, to wake people up from the dead and to use mediums. That's why Saul had previously forbid them in Israel. And so the next thing I wanted to talk about was the gold and vibranium. In Wakanda, gold or vibranium is powerful, but it's really the same thing as gold. Now, there's a channel on YouTube called Woodward TV. You need to check them out. He actually speaks on something called monatomic gold and uranium gold. It can heal you. It's known to heal cats' tails. It can give you extra energy. It gives you melanin. It helps with a lot of different things, and it's very familiar to what they say with vibranium. It also came from a meteoric impact. It hit the earth off the meteoric impact. So like I said, this vibranium is nothing more than gold. It's nothing new under the sun. Like I said, this monatomic gold does the same thing, gives a lot of strengths that a lot of people don't know about, and they haven't accessed it because they don't have the knowledge on it. So that vibranium, that's already in the scriptures, and we know that Africa does have gold. We know that, you know. So that's that. That's that. The next thing I wanted to talk about was Ulysses Claw. That is the other antagonist of the film. He was a very familiar character with us. So in the film, T'Chaka had been chasing him for 30 years, was unable to catch him. We do see in the film that T'Challa is now chasing him, and he eventually does catch him, but he becomes free. Now, he often calls them savages. He often calls them, you know, horrible people. And then we also see when he gets caught by T'Challa, he says, mercy, King, give me mercy, I pray thee." And then, so what does T'Challa say? He says, every breath that you take is mercy. Every breath that you take is mercy. So that also ties into the scripture as well. We're going to see in the scripture that Israel, or Saul, the first king of Israel, gave the Amalekites, he gave them mercy when he was supposed to utterly destroy them. So after that, every breath that the Amalekites took was mercy from Israel, you know. And it was not just that we gave them mercy. We should have listened to our father, and there would be no Amalekites today. Well, the Amalekites, they will not make it to the kingdom. They will be utterly destroyed. It's still going to happen, just like Ulysses Claw got utterly destroyed. So, you know, every breath that Ulysses Claw was taking was mercy, because, truth be told, T'Chaka was supposed to kill Claw, you know. So, and just like we said with that book, the Amalekites. So I'm going to read a scripture from Samuel about the Amalekites, and you're going to actually see where Israel did give that mercy. They did give that mercy to the Amalekites and what occurred. And this is 1 Samuel, and this is verse 15. And it says, Samuel said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he wait for him in that way when he had came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man, woman, infant, and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And so now we skip We skip down. Let's go into verse 6. It says, and Saul said to the Canaanites, go, depart, get ye down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt. So the Canaanites departed from among the Amalekites. He wasn't told to do that. He was told to destroy everything. Skip down to verse 9. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep, of the oxen, and of the fatlings of the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refuse, they utterly destroyed. And then this is Samuel, and then in chapter verse 11, it repenteth me that I have set up Saul for king, for he has turned his back from following me, and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Saul, and he cried unto the Most High that night. So this is what occurred. You know, we spared the Amalekites, just like T'Challa spared. He eventually spared Ulysses' claw, and every breath that he took, you know, that was mercy. So that's the comparison right there. And next we're going to get into Esau and Jacob, the connection with them and Prince, the descendant of Prince Najibu, and T'Challa. So basically, Najibu's son. What's his name? Killmonger. And so we're in 2nd Esdras, and we're going to go to verse 6, or chapter 6, verse 9. And it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So basically, this is just showing you what occurred in the movie. So we saw that, you know, things begin, or things that things that occurred was we had the Killmonger on top, you know, and that was the ending of the world. And then we saw as T'Challa took over, you know, you saw a new world occurring. You saw the beginning of something new, something fresh. And so that's just, you know, that's another connection right there, straight to the film. Those two are Jacob and Esau. You know, it's evident. And in Matthew 24, this is where Yeshua was telling about the end of the world. And he said, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, and saying that I am the Christ, but they shall deceive many. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. Verse 11, and false prophets shall arrive and shall deceive many. And then I want you to check this out. This is verse 24. And it says, there also shall arise false Christs, false prophets, and they shall show signs and wonders, inasmuch if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. Verse 30, and there shall be the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes, more than one, tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see that the Son of Man is coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And that's interesting because in the film we see T'Challa go into the United Nations, and he sort of begins a new world order. He says, brothers and sisters, you know, he says there's more that connects us than separates us. You know, and those will usually build barriers instead of building bridges. And then he starts saying different things like that. And also he says that we need to come together as brothers and sisters as one tribe. If you got anything out of Matthew 24, you're going to see it said the tribes of the earth. We are not all one tribe. We can never be all one tribe. The line in the sand has already been set, and so that was inaccurate, you know. So there you go, right there. And the movie ended on that. And after that ended, we had a white man with long brunette hair and blue eyes and a beard and a strong looking fellow, and he comes and he rose from the dead. And as we all know who have watched this movie, they're beginning to do an infinity war. So you have this white man who happens to look like our so-called white Jesus, coming, raising from the dead to fight the Infinity War, or as you can say, the Eternity War. You know, because the war that's about to happen after this so-called New World Order is going to be the Most High and the children of the Most High versus the evil and the children of evil, of iniquity. And so that's what we have. You know, they have the white Jesus. They put it right in your face. It just rose him from the dead. And he's about to fight the Infinity War. They need him to fight the Infinity War. And as we know, that's not Jesus. We know that was a different character, but that's what they're trying to subliminally say. Just catch that.